Are you there still holding your thing today or they postponed it? Tell them how you will postpone it.
Good evening, everyone. We have about 5 minutes to kick off. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
We have about 5 minutes to kick off. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
We have about all right. I hope you can hear me. Sorry about the echo initially. If you're in any group, any of the platforms where you saw the advert from, you can let them know we're almost beginning. I usually give a few minutes from the supposed start time to allow more people join so they don't miss out. Somehow I believe that those who are here and those who just passed Plab 1, they are mainly the set of people that I've packaged this for. So I'll begin with saying congratulations before we even start. You've done the difficult part. So please help drop a reminder, let them join so we can start. I hope your day was not as stressful as mine. Just to be double sure, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Right. All right. I believe it's been a long day. I think we can actually kick off. How was your day? Anybody? How was your day? How was your day? I'm sure after your Plab 1 results yesterday, for those of you who just passed, I'm sure no matter how stressful today was, it wouldn't matter so much because you must still be basking in the euphoria of the pass, isn't it? So once again, congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about Plab 2 today. My name is Peter. I'm the founder of Key Points Academy. It should be the fastest growing Plab 2 academy there is at the moment. We provide services that help you prepare for the Plab 2 test. And we've been doing so for over 2 years now. In the course of the session, apart from just talking about Plab 2, at some point we would also get to talk about the services that Key Points Academy renders, how we operate, how it benefits you, and of course, all you need to know. If you have any questions at any point, you can just keep them. If you can't hold on to them, you can use the chat room. Just drop it as a message. If you're watching on YouTube as well, I'll make reference to YouTube comment section at the end of the end of this webinar. So you can just drop them. Otherwise, at the end, we're going to talk about any questions whatsoever, anything you think I didn't touch, anything that wasn't very clear, some personal situations as well you need some clarity about. So long as they are appropriate for this session, I'll be happy to talk about them. If you have friends, of course, colleagues who you prepared for Plab 1 with, you can also give them a notification, help them, catch up with this session. Yeah, it will be very, very useful. When I wrote Plab 2, I'm not sure I had as much robust support and guidance like this, especially on a free platform. And it's one of the reasons why I do this every time there is a Plab 1 result. Just my way of giving back, of giving back and supporting people who are coming after us as well. It's something we're happy to do. Earlier, I mentioned that if you have passed Plab 1, which I believe you have for you to be here, you have done the hard part of the job. Yeah, you've passed the difficult one. Plab 2, when compared to Plab 1, ideally should be simpler. It should be simpler. But sometimes the simple tasks prove to be the difficult ones. You know, how we approach it, how we view it, how we approach it may end up determining whether it becomes simple or difficult. Now, I will speak with a few illustrations, and I'll begin with this. When you look at the Snelling's chart, which I'm sure every one of us here is very used to, either at the moment in your practice or in the course of your reading, or of course from medical school as well, you find that right on that same board, just one board, designed to assess the same thing, you have some big letters, you have some small letters. I somehow see Plab 2 to be this way. It's the same exam. It is big for some people, for some others, it is small. In the course of assessing people, preparing and assessing people for the Plab 2 test, I've come to see a whole variety of doctors when it comes to preparation. You find some who need months to prepare because it looks just like an uphill task. And then you have some others who it's like a walkover. I'll give you an example. I think sometime last year, had a candidate who came in for the course and somehow wrote the exam 2 days before the end of the course. That means this person was not exposed to all the course content, did not have so much time to do all the mocks, but still went for the exam and passed the exam 14 out of 16 stations. And then you have some others who spend weeks, even months, and at the end of the day, they still struggle to pass. So it is small, but it can also be mighty. It all depends on a whole number of things I will end up talking about. I'm sure you remember Tom and Jerry. Somehow, if you watch cartoon, when we're younger. So you find, Tom and Jerry, as small as Jerry is, Jerry can be mighty in certain circumstances and situations. And Plab 2 can just be that way. So the guidance, that one needs is very invaluable when it comes to approaching the exam. And sometimes, not just because the exam is easy, by the time you place it side by side with what it requires of you, financial commitments and every other thing, sacrifices and all that you have to put on the table, it can become very challenging and mighty. Now, as simple as Plab 2 is, I describe it as the simplest clinical exam I've ever sat in my life. And of course, I've sat for quite a number. As simple as it is, people fail Plab 2. And you may be wondering, why am I putting failure in front of you? It's because it's the outcome that none of us wants. So in order to pass, we have to understand how and what makes people fail. So I'll just discuss a few of them, the common reasons why people fail Plab 2. I'll try as much as possible to make it as practical as it can be, although they are theoretical concepts drawn from my experience assessing people over these few years. Now, if you look at the cycle in front of you, you'll find that what people believe form their mindsets, and the mindsets they have determines their approach, the actions that they take, and that's what, of course, results in the outcomes. The outcomes, amazingly, can also feed back on their beliefs, can further reshape the mindset, and of course, it is a vicious cycle. And this is very important, for us, and that is why I'm having this conversation with you today, because I want you to have the right belief, the right understanding, the right perspectives about Plab 2, and of course, to form the right mindset, which will help you approach it with the right actions, and of course, will get the desired outcome. Now, the underlying thing, which is our mindset, our beliefs, is one of the foundational reasons why some people fail Plab 2. Very intelligent doctors, amazing doctors. I have seen a doctor who has never failed any exam all through medical school. All through medical school, has been an excellent student, even had 1 or 2 distinctions somewhere. And the only exam this person was failing in his life was Plab 2. And of course, there's a whole lot of story. I interact with a lot of people who fail from different places. They come for me to explain to them why they failed. Then you find that for some people, they approach the exam with fear. And the example I just gave, it was just the practical reason for this particular doctor. He was afraid, and because he had formed fears from a lot of things people had told him, scary things, of course, it affected him on the exam day. He couldn't muster the strength, the courage, the stability, the confidence to face the examiners, to face the simulators. And at the end of the day, it was a disaster for him. So you must believe in yourself and you must believe in the right things. Now, let's talk about a few common erroneous things that people believe in. Some people put their trust in the materials they get. A friend of mine tells me, oh, it is this particular material. If you have this material, you are done with Plab 2. And then they put their trust in that material. Oh, it is so and so resource from so and so academy. When they put their trust in that particular material, they miss the point, because at the end of the day, the Plab 2 exam, which I will talk a lot about later, is designed around you and not on any material. There is no material anywhere, including Key Points Academy, that is the talisman for passing Plab 2. It doesn't work that way. It's not designed that way. It's not designed that way. So when you put your trust in the wrong things, there is a high chance that you may have the wrong outcomes. Some people put their trust in academies. They tell you, this academy, this is the one that everybody that goes there passes. It's not correct. It is not true. And I say this not for any academy out there. I say this as well for Key Points Academy. We have amazing results. I can spend time talking about it. But I can also be honest with you that even Key Points Academy is not the secret to passing Plab 2. It is a platform that is appropriately designed to help you pass. But I wouldn't want you to put your trust in anything else other than yourself. So don't put your trust in academies. When you do that, you may be in for a shocker. There is no academy there that people don't fail. There is none that people don't pass. I remember a particular guy who wanted to sign up for academy. I think sometime September last year. Yeah, he attended September. So maybe I think it was August before that month. So he was like, what's your pass rate and everything? And I told him, if you assess academies by their pass rates, you will be lost, because people publish very erroneous things, make you trust them wrongly, and you would fail. But even at that, even if an academy has 100% pass rate, it does not guarantee that the next person would pass. Because if you come and sit back, relax, and not put in any work, you'll be in for a shocker. Absolutely. So your pass or your outcome does not depend on any pass rate. Don't fall for it. It's a very, very wrong metric, to make a decision with. So I've talked about scripts. Yeah, scripts or notes from different academies. No. Now, the other thing is lack of self-confidence when you do not believe in yourself. And I gave you an amazing example already from someone who have assessed his results before. He just lacked that confidence. And anyway, some of it was contextual. I'll give a little more, talk about the context around his failure as well. And I'll use an example for you. So, but he lacked confidence. And that's because I think after house job, he got a job in an NGO where he did mostly public health things. So somehow throughout, up until the time he wrote the Plab 1 and Plab 2 exam, he hasn't really had hospital or clinical exposure apart from public health things. And he worked mostly as a program director. So if you are in that circle, you understand what I mean. I have spent some time in public health, so I know how cut off people within that sector can feel and, how it can be. So because of that, he had the knowledge, but he lacked the confidence. He felt the other people who have been practicing were better than him. But no, it doesn't mean they weren't, because he went to write the exam, I think 2 months after, and he passed 15 out of 16. That's, in fact, the last station, he failed the last station by 0 point something, 0.4 or so. So he could have passed everything. So what was the difference? Did the man change? No. My review of his result and interacting with him and helping him see himself, I think it made him build that confidence. So when you lack confidence, no matter how much you know, sometimes you can have shockers in Plab 2. So faith, believing in the wrong things, and of course, not believing in yourself. The next thing are your foundations. Your foundations can also be a reason why one may have challenges with Plab 2. If your foundation is wrong, you may really struggle. I'll tell you one truth today. Plab 2, the common questions they ask are very simple things. And I'm sure you believe with me, especially for those of you who are very experienced and maybe have been involved in examining medical students and all. You know that when you want to fail a medical student, or you want to, ask a medical student a difficult question, it's usually the simple questions that you have to ask them. Yeah. You come for a physiology exam, and then they ask you define physiology. And then you have gone to read all the 9 systems. You have gone to read all the amazing and the big stuff, all the things in the fine prints, and then they ask you the simple ones, and then you stumble. That is how Plab 2 is. So when people find it challenging, it's not because they are highfalutin and very big things, no. It is because it is designed around the very basic concepts of medical practice. So if your foundations are shaky, if they are wrong, yeah, you may have issues responding to the very simple questions that the examiners ask. Now, when we talk about basic understanding of the concept, the Plab 1 you just passed is designed around the basic concepts. They want you to understand, Plab 1 these days, I don't know how basic it is anymore, but, there's a whole lot of stuff. It's designed around the knowledge that you need. Now, there are many of you who you pass Plab 1. Of course, I don't take the credit away from you. I wouldn't do that. But you know how we prepare for Plab 1. Yeah, we'll just read from that resource where we know the repeat questions, we cram the answers, we do it again and again and again, so that when we see that scenario again, we just know the answer. By the time we read the first 2 sentences, we just know the answer. Am I correct? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you read that clincher's handbook, or you read from so and so app or so and so website, so that when you just get to the examers, you just see the first 2 lines, you just look at the options, you know the answer. Now, knowing the answer does not always mean you know the reason why it is the answer. And if you find yourself in that category, you may want to spend some time chewing your Plab 1 content again, because you need a very deep-rooted foundation for you to pass Plab 2. Not more stuff. Everything you know in Plab 1 is enough in terms of knowledge to pass Plab 2. In terms of knowledge, Plab 2 is more than knowledge. I'll still talk about it. So, but in terms of knowledge, you need to shock and really build your basics very, very well. So when it is shaky, then of course, Plab 2 may crash on you, and of course, that's not what we want. There are some of us who have spent a whole lot of time after medical school, and the people I find in this category are a big challenge, really. You have your strengths, absolutely. Maybe I'll still talk about those strengths, but you also have a little bit of some weakness, because you have spent some time away from those common basic things that a house officer does, a youth corps does. Yes, and those are the things really that Plab 2 is looking for. Basic things at the level of a foundation year 2 doctor in the UK. Yeah, just fresh out of school, fresh out, just into practice the first 2 years. Yeah. So let's say you are a consultant, you are a senior registrar, especially a long-standing senior registrar, a long-standing registrar within a specialty that is just cut out. You have only been looking at the eye in ophthalmology for the last 7 years, the last 5 years. it can be a challenge. It doesn't mean that your foundation is faulty per se. Somehow, beyond that specialty where you have been, your foundations may be rusty. It doesn't apply to everybody, but the chances are that it will be. So you have to take that into consideration as well, when you prepare. It means you need to touch other areas. I think sometime this year, I had this senior registrar in ophthalmology who he really struggled. I had to put a close eye on him because I know he's a very intelligent doctor, a very nice chap as well. Yeah, but I saw where his struggles were coming from because all he's done is ophthalmology. Everything within our ophthalmology model, it was easy peasy for him. Yeah, but when you go out of that, it became a challenge. Now, for some others as well, it may not be that you are within a specialty as such, but somehow you have spent maybe years in general practice. And you know how we make our diagnosis in general practice, especially in the third world, sub-Saharan Africa, and of course in many other places. You find that you want to examine the abdomen and you go straight for what you're looking for. All this medical school process of, going through inspection, palpation, and all of that, you don't get to do them. So somehow you've lost touch with an exam approach to the same clinical things you've always done. And some of us as well, because of how long you have been in this particular practice, you are somehow adept with the common cases around where you practice. And, those other things in your medical school note and everything, you've lost touch with how to approach them clinically. So you find people struggle with really connecting back to the contents of Plab 2 when we begin to talk about them. So basically, you need to take into cognizance, you need to take, into recognition, the importance of that peculiarity for you, Yeah, you have to, that's why they say before you prepare for a battle, you have to sit down and count the cost, before you get into it. Yeah, so what is unique to you, what you need to take care of, and how that affects how you strategize a preparation. I've talked about Plab 1, yeah, I think I started from there. It's very important for you to understand everything. And somehow at this point, I will also mention that the same curriculum that is used for Plab 2 is the same curriculum where they set your Plab 1 from. And that's why if you really chew your Plab 1 questions very well, whatever resources you use, yeah, if you chew them to the basics, like understand the reasons why, so and so is the option, so and so is the right answer and everything, yeah, you're most likely getting really prepared for Plab 2. Yeah, I think I also talked about the context of practice. If there's another perspective to it, I'll just throw light into. You find out as well that from where most of us have been practicing, especially if you're not practicing the first word from wherever you're joining this session from, if it's not the first word, you find that there are concepts, especially standards for international best practices, are mostly not being practiced. Empathy is not being embraced here. So when we practice in some of these places, bad news is just thrown to the patients there. You don't understand the processes or the steps, how you approach bad news, for an instance. People's emotions, very poor emotional intelligence. All we just see is the patient, in fact, not even the patient, all we see is the symptom, the diagnosis, and the management. And somehow we don't see the patient, his emotions, the contextual issues around them, and of course, whatever. We just don't take into cognizance those things. And in Plab 2, those are the things the examiners are very, very conscious about. In fact, in the scoring format, you'll find them outline how important things as simple as your language is to the scoring. Yeah, we don't take note of so much, yeah, in some other places where we're coming from. So the context of practice, yeah, we'll have to also see how that can affect. Now, this is the point where I usually mention, especially those who are senior registrars who you have spent time bullying your younger ones. Yeah, it worked for you there, made you feel powerful and all that. It's a strong negative for Plab 2. Yeah, because there are times when the simulators will be designed in angry stations, for an instance, to step on your nerves. They are going to say some hurtful things. They are going to challenge your power, as it were. Yeah, I had one like that. I wouldn't go too into much details as it were, but this one was designed to be a medical student who was going to upset a senior. Yes, and imagine yourself as a senior registrar who has never taken any nonsense from a junior before. You know the setting I'm talking about. Yeah, so and now they put that kind of scenario in the exam. The truth is, the way you have responded to situations like that over the last 5 years, the last 10 years, it will play out in the station. The examiner will see the non-verbal part of you responding to that listening in authoritative fashion. We'll see the fact that you get upset even if you try to fake it with your face. So basically, you have to deal with that. Yeah, so you have to bring all of those things. They are foundational things that can affect the outcome in Plab 2. Very tiny bits of things, but they have a role to play when it comes to the Plab 2 exam. It's not just a textbook, understanding and pouring it. No, it's not like Plab 1 at all. All right, so these differences in the context of practice, they come into play. Yeah, another difference when it comes to context there is private practice and teaching hospitals. People in private practice, they are usually luckier, when it comes to Plab 2 preparation, because somehow they see a wide array of things. Yeah, they see things that are surgical, they see things that are medical, see things from gynae or obstetrics, yeah. Especially those medical officers, those in youth service, it's a good thing because somehow their minds and exposure cut across a wide range of clinical situations. Yeah, they see patient relatives who do not take them very seriously, who will try to upset them, they try to negotiate. All of those, they build communication skills and all. Yeah, those in private practice as well usually tend to have relatively better behavior because they need the patient to come so that they can make the money for salaries, if you get what I mean. Yeah, but those in teaching hospitals, usually they do not have as much of that tendency, except they are conscious about it. Yeah, because whether the patients come or they do not come, whether they comply with medications or they do not comply, the salaries will come at the end of the day. Otherwise, we go on strike. Am I right? Yeah, so you can see, so some of those contexts, you have to sit down and reason how some of these little tiny bit of things, how do they affect your preparation? Yeah, so when you see somebody tell you they failed Plab 2, please don't be in a hurry to think they are not brilliant. Some of them are the most intelligent on that day of the exam. Yeah, but what could have affected them may be totally contextually different. And it could come from as far back as 5 years, 6 years, the kind of practice they have been doing, some of the things I'm pointing out today that you're seeing on your screen. All right. So it's important for you to, take note of these things. And even more, the things on my screen are basically examples to help you understand how we reason and prepare for Plab 2. So your foundations must be solid. Now let's talk a little bit about the test structure. And this is coming to the real meat of the issue now. What is Plab 2 about? It's very important for us to know the basics. I won't go into too much details, but I'll tell you where you'll find much more information about this. You need to know what Plab 2 is about. In fact, I'm talking about this largely because I have seen a couple of persons that they have prepared for Plab 2, maybe even attended a course somewhere. And then within the last few days of the exam, a couple of persons still come and they want me to assess them, see how their preparation is before they go for the exam. And then I ask some very foundational issues about Plab 2, and they do not know. There are some others as well. You give them mocks, and then I give them the feedback scoring sheet, with their scores and everything, the qualitative feedback. And then some of them come back and they're asking me, so this part in the qualitative feedback table, what does it mean? For me, that is a red flag. It's a red flag. It's a danger point. It's a danger sign, really. Because what it tells me is you don't even know what your examiner is going to sit down there and be looking out for. But you feel you have stuff. You feel you have read. You feel you are ready. But you don't know what he's writing in his score sheet. You don't know how that score sheet is structured, how it translates into your results, how it helps you pass or fail. Come on. You need to know what Plab 2 is about. All right? Yeah, you need to know what Plab 2 is about. You need to know what Plab 2 is not about. Okay, I think I'll talk about a few of them. You need to know how it is scored. And of course, when the examiners sit down, what exactly are they looking at? They will be silent most of the time. Yeah, they're still silent, just looking at you, talk with the simulator and everything. But while in their silence, what is going on in their mind? You need to know. Otherwise, you may not be doing the right thing and you feel you are talking, you feel you are moving stuff and everything. You may be moving nothing if you don't know what they're thinking. All right. Now, whether I spend so much time explaining this or not, on our YouTube channel, you'll find my introduction to Plab 2 video. It's about 1 hour, 45 minutes. It is a free resource I've left out there for you to understand every tiny bit of things about what you find on your screen now. What Plab 2 is about, what it is not about, how the scoring is done, the quantitative, the qualitative feedback, what each of the qualitative feedback criteria, what they mean and how you should express them in each station. And of course, what the examiners are looking out for when they sit down there and they are looking at you perform the stations. So you'll find all of that in my introduction to Plab 2 video. It is a free resource, like I said. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And of course, you can click the like button and the notifications as well. When we drop new content, you'll be the first to know. Now, the other thing again, another criteria, another factor is people who we say robotism, or they are robotic, Now, although I've not said too much about what Plab 2 is about, you'll find out that Plab 2 is designed mostly around communication. It's not really about the content. They expect that after passing Plab 1, you have content enough. But Plab 2 is about communication, your ability to connect with the patient, to communicate with them. And communication in a sense that you can find out exactly the contents that determine what diagnosis, of the condition they came with, the ability to negotiate with them, how to manage them, understanding that management is not a prescription, but it's a negotiation, it's a discussion, and all that. So you need to know and have the skills to negotiate with your patients. And then, of course, now, when you're communicating, there is also a huge space for emotions. Emotions. You find that a patient may come to you, for an instance, and you think this person has pneumonia. Yes, the person may have come with all the symptoms and signs of pneumonia. You have, of course, reached your diagnosis. And the treatment, of course, you will admit, you may place the person on oxygen, antibiotics, antipyretics, and every other thing, all the things in your textbook. But this person may be worried about something different from pneumonia, which you, the doctor, have diagnosed. The person may be worried about how pneumonia will affect his or her exams tomorrow, because he's a master's student. So you see, it's not all about what's in the textbook. There are contests. Now, a doctor who is acting as a robot will not see on the face of the patient that this person is worried about something. Let's say, for an instance, by the time you got your diagnosis, this is pneumonia. What it means is, it's a chest infection. It is something serious and all of that and all that. And then I want to admit you. When you just talk about admission, maybe the person shows some emotions in their face, and a robot will not see such emotions. And unfortunately, there are doctors like that who will consult as robots. They won't see the emotion. They won't see the change in the facial expression, the change in the body language of the patient. And of course, if they do not see that, they will finish that consultation without knowing that there is a silent worry, a huge worry that this patient has. And then they come out and tell, it was pneumonia. I dealt with. In fact, I told the person the name of the antibiotics. I told them how many days you will be on the antibiotics. I told everything that is in the textbook. And then the result comes out and the person did not pass the station and is wondering what happened. So what happened was you were practically a robot dishing out the textbook content. You were not attending to the patient. So beyond the content, there should be communication skills. And roboticism, following a scripts will not do all the job. Ignoring emotions or not even seeing them at all, using phrases that do not express true emotions. For an instance, you find somebody shows you an emotion in their body language or in their face, and then you see, I see that you're upset. And then the person tells you, no, I'm not upset. I'm just confused. I don't understand what you said. So that means you are seeing the wrong emotion. Yeah, you're seeing the wrong emotion. That means you're not very observant. And the examiner would be looking at, those tiny bit of things. Do you know what emotion is being expressed? Are you observant? Are you connected? Do you have a very good rapport with the patient? You see some people, if you have listened to a few simulations of Plab 2, some of you, I know you just passed yesterday, so you may not know all about this, but you hear some people in their Plab 2 consultations or simulations, they tell, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry to hear that. And almost everything is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There is a point where you begin to use those kind of sentences, the examiner takes them as stock phrases. They are phrases that are appropriate for the conversation, but they do not look genuine. And sometimes they may not even be appropriate. So if they do not look genuine, they do not convey genuine emotions, the examiner may penalize you for using them. I'm sorry to hear that. And in fact, these days, sometimes the simulators would even challenge you for saying them. For an instance, you say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And by the time you say it too much, the simulator might sometimes tell you, it's not your fault. You didn't cause it. Why are you sorry? And then you spend the time that you do not have, you spend it now trying to, salvage the error that you have made. Okay, no, that I meant, this is what you're wasting time. Then at the end of the day, you may not even finish the station. Why? Because you're just using phrases that you have learned, not because you meant them. All right. And then, of course, I've talked about being emotionless. So if you fail to connect with the concerns of your patients, you'll find it very difficult to connect with them. And of course, you have problems in such consultations. Now, the last one, not because it's really the last, I just put a five point countdown just for this session. There are more things actually. Yeah, is practice. People fail to practice. Some people, by the time they have put their faith in the wrong thing, let's say, oh, I've attended that academy. They say, yeah, my friend said he attended this academy and passed. And then because of that, I've attended it. Don't worry, they will know exactly where the stations, what questions will come out in my week, Yeah, people peddle a lot of lies. Yeah, some people will tell you that academy, they know what set of questions will come out in a particular week. Just attend it. Lies. It never works. Okay, it never works. So you find people like that, they end up maybe not practicing as much as they should. And of course, when you do not practice, you'll get it wrong, Yeah, you get it wrong and you'll be in for a shocker. In fact, Andre Agassi put it very amazingly that if you don't practice, you don't deserve to win. Yeah, sometimes you may luckily win, and some friends who even advise you like that, they passed by luck. There are people who do. I've seen a number of persons who pass the exams very well, and then when I talk with them, I find out that they don't even understand so much about the exam. And sometimes I feel very sad. Not sad, I don't feel sad, of course, because they passed. I'm happy for them that they won. Yeah, but I feel sad for the people who they will advise, because they will advise you in the context that I passed. And of course, you almost don't have any option than to believe them. They have done it and they passed. So they tell you, do it like this, but that luck may not find you. Yeah, unfortunately. So you find people who suffer the consequences of other people's poor knowledge. So if you don't practice, you will not get it right. And if you don't get it right, you don't deserve to win. Okay, this one is a bonus point, but it is very, very, very important. There are people who fail because of logistic challenges. Visa applications that come out late, some of them, I've seen, these are not just theoretical things. Everything I've talked about today, I could give you personalized examples of each of them, because I've seen hundreds of people, come to me for counseling about Plab 2, and I see different things why they have had challenges. Now you have some who, they have applied for visa very late, and then the visa outcome is delaying. They are not sure whether they will travel and all of that. In the midst of all that uncertainty, they are not preparing. Because there's a lot of stress. So why should I prepare? Or even how should I concentrate when I don't know even if I'll travel next week or not? The outcome is not here yet. I've not received my passport. Should I cancel? Should I not cancel? Should I call GMs? You know, so in the midst of all that confusion, they end up not preparing adequately, or at least not approaching the exam in the right mindset that they should. Some people, for whatever reason, they travel so close to their exam that the travel stress tells on them. In fact, I think in the last 2 weeks or so, I saw someone who he failed the exam. I know he has as much as anybody else who had passed the exam on that day. Why did he fail? Yeah, the travel stress made him very ill. He was unwell. He wasn't at his best on that exam day, and the outcome. So you find that there are some other travel mishaps, of different types. I've seen someone, in the course of the journey, lost her passport and then was not sure whether GMC would allow him or allow her to do the exam without her passport. How will she identify herself in the midst of all this and just logistic problems? And there are many of them. These are just examples. There could be many things. Yeah, I'm sure you are thinking of other possibilities as well. But these examples suffice to tell you that even contextual things like your travel plan, they are very, very important. They have an impact on the outcome of the Plab 2 test. So it's a whole lot of things, and you have to prepare adequately. It's not like Plab 1, where you just, I'm done with work, I sit down, I read, and then I go right in. It's not like that. A whole lot of things come into play. Let me not bore you so much. Maybe I should just move on to a few other things. Now, just a few tips on how to prepare for Plab 2. A few tips, okay? Because now you're done with Plab 1, and I'm sure you'll gradually be pulling up to Plab 2. How should you prepare? So, okay, I've talked about the importance of the basics. Start with the basics, and of course, understand the underlying principles behind the test. So please make sure that you enjoy that free resource, especially for those of you who have not booked your exam. It is not closed at all. You have time. Please don't go into reading conditions and management and everything. No, understand the exam. You don't need stuff. You don't need plenty stuff to pass Plab 1 and Plab 2. At all, you don't need plenty stuff. In fact, to be honest with you, the exam for each station lasts about 8 minutes. And in that 8 minutes, you would take a history, you would examine, sometimes perform the examination or verbalize the examination, reach a diagnosis, explain the diagnosis, and then negotiate management. 8 minutes. There's not much time. It's not much time. So you find that there wouldn't even be room for you to talk about all those tiny prints of stuff, karyotyping and blah, blah, blah. You have in your notebooks on your textbooks. No, they don't work. That's not how Plab 2 is designed. Okay, so understand how the exam is structured. So please use the Plab 2 introduction video on our YouTube channel. It's free, it's yours. All right, enjoy it and understand what you're up against. Okay. Now, you need to double check information that you receive in the course of this preparation, okay? Yeah, so you find notes, some of the notes your friends will share with you, oh, I attended so-and-so academy. Sometimes they didn't hear the teacher very well. I've seen some notes in circulation, I go through them. Sometimes I just pick interest in just seeing them. I tell people, oh, send me, you have to tell me, send me that note. Or I'm in class teaching and I see somebody checking a particular note. I say, I want to have that note. So I can just, read it later. And I find a couple of errors there. Sometimes not because the academy was teaching something wrong. No. Sometimes it is just error in communication. The student was tired, was sleepy, did not hear very well, or somehow in the process of writing, scribbled it so wrongly and all that. And then somebody else is speaking the wrong message. So you have to double check. Double check what information you find. Be sure that what you have is correct. Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, you need to understand your personal circumstances. I think from everything I've said so far and the examples I've given earlier, you need to know by now that your preparation is different from the next person. It's different from that your friend who you are calling, who has passed Plab 2, who is already working in the UK perhaps. Your circumstances are not the same. Every counsel you receive are only advisory, including the one I'm telling you now. They are all advisory. You have to put everything in context and you have to take decisions based on your circumstances. If you're a fast learner, you can't be preparing in the same way as a slow learner at all. Yeah, or so be careful. You have to watch how you approach this exam. Now, personal circumstances as well. As you prepare for the exam, okay, you have to deal with your mindset. Believe that you can do it. Okay, yeah, believe that you can do it. If you did Plab 1, like I told you, you've done the difficult part, to be honest. Yeah, in terms of content, in terms of intelligence, you have done the difficult part. So you have to believe within yourself that you can do it, and then you have to be committed as well. One of the slight differences between Plab 1 and Plab 2 is that Plab 2 is physically stressful. Okay, apart from being that it's resource demanding, it is also physically demanding. So you have to be committed because it will be stressful, it will push you at some point, but of course, keep the end in view. Now, you need to identify your own weaknesses that can affect the outcome. I gave you a couple of examples earlier. It could be language limitations. For an instance, you're a stammerer, or you're someone who speaks so fast, like there are people who talk that way. They speak as if they have pressured speech, Yeah, it's a language challenge that you have. You have to find a way to deal with it. Yeah, and there are different ways you can deal with that. So you need to know, what it is. There are some of you who you like normally communicating with a huge technical language. You like moving stuff. Especially those of us in internal medicine, for an instance, you enjoy talking about stuff. It's usually a source of joy in those word rounds when you move those things you read in the night. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying them in a mocking sense, as it were. Yeah, but you need to know that that is a language limitation for you. And language here is using technical language. It is not welcome in Plab 2. So you need to know all of that. Are you a stuff man? You talk stuff. You're most likely to talk stuff in a patient conversation, and that will be very inappropriate. So understand what your own weakness is to be different from your friends. Understand it, okay? And note it down, because you need to deal with it personally as you prepare. Your attitudes, your mannerisms. There are people who naturally, their face are not friendly, okay, if you know what I mean. They have no dot of smile on their face, even when they are happy. They may not really have a problem with you, but their face is just stony and all of that. Yeah, you need to know what exactly is yours. So your attitudes, your mannerisms, or you talk and usually throw your hands everywhere normally, like you're a chorister or something, like, you're conducting an orchestra. That can be distracting in a first word conversation. So you need to identify what are your mannerisms, your attitudes that would likely hamper the outcome of this exam. Or when you talk, you like arguments. And, before somebody who is trying to hold you back, let's say an angry patient, an upset patient, a dissatisfied patient is trying to talk to you to ask about something, and then, naturally you will interject and stop the person. Be careful. Those kind of things, note them. These are my personal limitations that I need to deal with as I prepare for this very important exam. So any communication challenges, and all that. And of course, people who have knowledge deficits as well. There are different types of knowledge deficits. I spent time talking about them earlier. Some from how you have been practicing within a specialty. There are so many other things you don't know. You need to catch up. Some you have spent so many years, after the practice, and you need to still come back to some basic things. Yeah, just note that those are your personal things, the thing that you lack, that you need to find and fix. Now, very important one here, timing. Okay, when is the best time? A lot of people ask me this at the very beginning, of their preparation for Plab 2. When is the best time to sit Plab 2? I just passed Plab 1. When is the best time? The best time is relative. You need to consider your circumstances. I have someone who, I think he's working with me now. He finished his Plab 1, and then immediately the results came out. He booked a Plab 2 test. I think whether 2 months or 1 month after or so. Yeah, it's 2 months. Yeah, because the next month immediately he went for a course, and then few days after he went for the exam. Yeah, so think about 2 months after the Plab 1 results came out, and he did amazing. So essentially, it depends on you. So you need to consider your circumstances. Yeah. Do you have time to attend the course? Do you have, the confidence? Are you are you the kind of person that can dare situations? So you need to know what exactly works for you. Okay. So consider your lack. You remember the lack we talked about, your language, your, all the other things are listed earlier. So you need to consider your lack. Consider as well if you have leave from work. Consider as well visa, application. Yeah, if you want to write within a short time, you may have to apply for a priority visa. And of course, if you are within the UK as well, you do not have that as a limitation. So you can go ahead and, book the earliest date and everything that you find. So the best time is relative. However, we usually recommend that, people should give it at least 8 weeks. At least 8 weeks. At least 8 weeks. Okay, so it's the best time for you to start preparing. And within these 8 weeks, you can do a course at the beginning, and then the time in between, you have relatively about 1 month or even a little bit more to practice. And practice here will be reading and understanding the concept, sitting down to simulate with your friends and have corrections, book mock sessions, have yourself being assessed by an academy facilitator, given feedback. You have time to personalize and apply the feedback. And then, of course, you can go and write or sit the exam. Now, this exam needs lots of materials. And people usually run to academies and all that for materials. Before you do that, please, on the GMC website, look for the Plab blueprint. It is downloadable, and you can download it tonight. In fact, you are supposed to have looked at it before you wrote Plab 1. Yeah, because it's the same blueprint that covers Plab 1 and Plab 2. If you haven't, no worries. So look for the Plab blueprint. It's on the GMC website. It basically covers the curriculum for training a foundation year doctor in the UK at which level you are being assessed. So look for that Plab blueprint, and then you want to just peruse, just take a look, go through it. Yeah, go through it and see the range or the array of competencies that the GMC expects of a doctor who is coming for the Plab 2 exam. Then which other resource do you need? There's a foundation program curriculum, which you also find on the GMC website as well. You can look for it and take a look and see what that curriculum looks like. And then now you can talk about materials, which you can get from friends, either they have attended the course or when you attend your own course, you have some resources, you take some notes in class and all of that. And it is very important, please, that even if you go to an academy or you have a note from a friend, which is very full, hundreds of pages and all of that, it does not mean everything is there. And even when people write in the way they understand. It may not be necessarily how you will understand. So please, when you attend the course, and it doesn't matter where you are attending that course, help yourself by taking notes. Okay, so when you take notes, you usually would have more concentration on what the teacher is saying. And of course, you will also note what is important to you, what is striking to you in how the matter or the station or the scenario was described. Okay, so make sure you take notes. Now, how? Practice is the best way to prepare for Plab 2, really. It's not reading. It's not reading at all. It's not sitting down to read. If you read without practicing, you'll most likely get surprises. Trust me. Yeah, you'll get surprises. I have seen a couple of persons come for mocks and then they freeze. But, before the mock started, I could hear them telling the other student and the other candidates, before they study, no, it's not like that. It's not, no, it's not like that. This is how you say it. And then by the time the mock has started, then they get frozen, and they are struggling to now do the same things. They know it. That's why they are correcting others. But doing it is a difficult ballgame. It's a different ballgame. Okay, so you have to find practice partners. Never prepare alone for Plab 2. Please never prepare alone. Okay, you must have practice partners, at least 3 or 4. At least 3 or 4, but please not more than 6. Now, this one is a very important topic when they talk about academies. And I don't know who would be as honest as I would be when it comes to the issue of academy. I run an academy, I own one. Yeah, normally I would have been here wooing you to say, come to Key Points Academy by every means. Yeah, we have the talisman, we have the key to making you pass. No, I'm an honest man. I'll tell you the truth. No academy can guarantee any outcome. None. Okay? Yeah, we can only provide information, give you guidance, help you prepare. But there is no academy out there that can guarantee that you will pass. No matter what is written on their website, no matter what was said to you when you came to sign up. And please, you have to trust me on this one. Okay? Yeah. So you are your best academy, to be honest. You are your best academy. So attend academies. We are right here. Yeah, for an Key Points Academy is right here for you to help you prepare and all of that. But you, at the end of the day, is the tool that makes yourself pass. Now, you need to match your needs with the strengths of the academy you are choosing. There are people who work, please, you need to understand my approach to teaching is I help you know who you are so you can take the right decision. Yeah. Okay. So I want you to follow what I'll say now. You need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Some people will tell you, this academy is the best and all of that. Don't go for it because your friend went there and it worked. It doesn't work that way for you. What is your strength? What is your weakness that this academy can help? For an instance, there are people who need a lot of support for them to do well. You need an academy where the teachers, the administration is responsive, that when you ask a question, they will be right there to answer you. When you have a challenge, they'll be right there to support you. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. There are some others as well who are lone rangers. Whether you help me or not, I can find my way. Yeah, of course, those ones can go anywhere. So you need to know what do you need and then who can provide that need. Don't go with the bandwagon. Yeah, many people have failed unnecessarily because I went with my friend or I went where my other friend who had passed before, where the person went. It doesn't work that way. Now, how do you know, a good academy? Okay, a good academy has teachers who are experienced, who have been doing the job, and of course, they have proven results. Okay, yeah. Academy who has teachers, that are patient, especially for Plab 2. There are concepts that are new to doctors who even have years of experience under their shoulders and all. Yeah, but there are concepts in first world consultations that may not be very, very, they may not be conversant with. Yeah, so you need teachers who are patient to explain why you should say it this way, why you should put it this way, not just tell you, say it this way. You have to know the why. Yeah, so why should we? Okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, so you must have teachers, they must have teachers who are patient, and of course, they will give you opportunities for high quality mocks. Now, what are high quality mocks? High quality mocks are not mocks with high quality mannequins. Because I see many people when they come to, the first thing they want to know before they go to an academy is, do you have Seaman? We have Seaman, of course, but that's not, I don't answer that question usually when they come. Because as a teacher who wants to help you pass, I know that's not what you need. Seaman will not help you pass Plab 2 or any mannequin as such. We have many of them, we have them there, but they are not the key to your passing. Now, a high quality mock is a mock that has a personalized feedback. If the mock cannot look at you, and please permit me to use the names I see on the chat room to give an example. A mock that cannot look at you and say, Rashid, you did not do this well, you did not do this well, you did not do this well. This is how you, Rashid, should do it. Or Ogenetega, your language here is, if that mock cannot give you personalized feedback, its quality is low, no matter how fresh the mannequin that was used looks like. So high quality feedback is what makes a mock of good quality. And this is very important because when you go to a very crowded place where people are not very interested in what happened to you as it was, at the end of mock, you are just, they reteach the whole station again and all of that. It does not tell you as a person, as a maker, as John, as Williams, it does not tell you where your weaknesses are, what you as a person should do better. And of course, if you had made errors, you go back to the exam and do the same thing, not knowing that they were wrong in the first place. So it's very crucial that you find where you have personalized feedback, okay? Yeah, and of course, you need a place where you are followed up until you pass. A place that even if by any reason you have any challenge, there will be full support for you to help you overcome, And Key Points Academy has all of these things, yeah, because we are not just talking about them in theory. These are the guiding principles that help us review what we do, yeah. And for me, I know everybody who has attended the academy. Usually, even if you attended 2 years ago, you don't introduce yourself to me. I still know you, even if you have passed 2 years ago. You don't come back and tell me, so I am Ibikunle. No, I will call your surname immediately. You call your first name. So we know you personally as much as possible and want to give you that personal touch. Okay. Now, I'm done. After that slide, I think, yeah, largely done. I'll just show you very few important things. And at the end, I will do a giveaway. Yeah, I usually do that. It's like a ritual for my webinar. I'll do a quick giveaway at the end. Now, most people fail not because of a lack of desire. Of course, everybody desires to pass, but because of lack of commitment. And guys, you must be committed to the process. It's very, very important. Very important. These are scheduled for 2023 for Key Points Academy. Yeah, it's there on our website, okay, keypointsacademy.com. Under upcoming courses, you can peruse there, see what our course schedules for our Lagos and Manchester centers. Those are the physical schedule for each month. We run monthly courses in Manchester and in Lagos. So you can take a look at that. You can screenshot it as well if you want to, keep it for your consumption. Yeah, for when you would attend the course, if you want to consider coming to Key Points Academy. Yeah, it's also on the website, like I told you. You can look at it. So we have physical courses, which run in Manchester and in Lagos, Nigeria. And then we also have online courses. Yeah, so online courses, you have about 6 diets in the year, one every 2 months for the online courses. Now, there's another special course, the 7 weekends online course. This one is designed for people who have very busy schedules. They work within the week, but they still somehow want to use the weekend to attend the academy. So we'll spread the content over 7 weekends so that within those 7 weekends, you still cover everything. And when I mean everything, nothing missing. As far as I'm concerned, the 7 weekends course is one of our best performing courses. And Key Points Academy is the only academy I know that has this design. It's my innovation, actually. So, and I don't think anybody else has, picked it up. So yeah, you can consider any of them. Okay, the 7 weekends online course. I think this is the course with the highest 16/16 passes when compared to other courses. That's the weekend course. And the secret is an open one. It gives you room to learn and rest. Yeah, unlike the other ones, they are back to back every day for the whole 14 days. But the weekend course allows you to, take some in one weekend. Then you have about 4 days to rest, do other work, internalize, read, fill up your note or whatever it is. And then you come for the other weekend again. You take in another chunk. And then just that way, only weekends or 7 weekends. That's like big man, it's big man course, isn't it? Yeah, so, and then we have revision courses as well. These revision courses are designed for people who have maybe attended a course for a long time or attended another course and somehow they are not very confident of their preparation. So they need someone to help bring it closer. And of course, it's what we do in Key Points Academy. And then people who maybe they wrote the exams before and they did not pass and they want to be brushed up. Yeah, they want to be brushed up. So that's the revision course. And yeah, we usually have about 4 schedules in a year, and those are the dates for 2023. Our course fees are relatively, I would say they are the cheapest across board, really, considering the quality. of what we offer. And it's been so for a while. Well, we're not thinking of raising the cost for now. We want it to be affordable for doctors. So for the physical courses in Manchester, it's right there. And you'll find it on the website as well. I just wanted you to take a look. Okay, so you have the physical course in Manchester, the physical course in Lagos. The online courses, the cost for online courses is the same with the physical courses in Lagos. So the online courses, this is still the same pricing for the same cost fees. All right. For those of you who need some support with logistics for travel, we also have a department, Key Points Travels. You can inbox us on Instagram, send a DM on Instagram at Key Points Travels, or on WhatsApp on the number on your screen, or you can also email keypointstravels@gmail.com. Now, the support here is that our travel staff helps you to get the cheapest possible flight for your intended travel dates. And help you make the booking. It will also help you make an adjustment on the booking if you need to. So it kind of takes away that stress from you. And besides, the agent knows better about travel deals and all of that more than you. And then sometimes you may be lucky as well. They may have some discounts for agents. And a lot of people have cashed in on that, not knowing about those discounts, of course. You won't find them usually on the front platforms of the different airlines. So you may also want to consider that. So I'm sure you may have picked up those contacts. And then you can use it at any time. Now, giveaway time. Maybe before I do that, I will take questions. If there are questions, you can put them on the chat room now. You can also put on your mic, ask the question. And then, after that, I will just announce a quick giveaway. Any questions, guys, on anything?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the session. So, just a quick question concerning the pricing for.
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You did say the pricing for Lagos remained the same for online and physical, but what about if you're in the UK? Is it the same thing?
Yeah, if you're in the UK and you're opting for an online course, it's the same pricing with the Lagos courses there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but if you're opting for a physical course in Manchester, then that would be the other pricing on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Okay, Chidinma is right on your screen now. Yeah, I see some hands up. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, Michael, go ahead.
Please, is it really true that IELTS expire before, can expire before your registration?
All right, so IELTS is a prerequisite for Plab 1, but it is not a prerequisite for Plab 2. Yeah, so even if your IELTS is expired, but you just passed Plab 1, you can still book your Plab 2 and sit it. And then if you pass your Plab 2 and you are able to complete your GMC registration within 3 months from when your result was published, they may not require your IELTS. But if you get to do that registration and it takes longer than 3 months, then your English language will expire, if you get what I mean. So you may have to provide another result. I don't know if that helped you, Michael.
No, I didn't really get this one of 3 months.
All right, so let's say your Plab 2 result was published today. Today is 16th of December. 3 months from now is 16th of March, isn't it? So between today that your Plab 2 result has been published, the GMC would expect you to complete your GMC registration within 3 months. If after that 3 months period, you have not completed your registration, then a new IELTS Of course, knowing that your IELTS has expired, a new IELTS will be required as one of the criteria to complete your registration. You get?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay. There's a lady. Anytime I hear a lady's voice, I give them priority. Who was the lady that wanted to talk before?
Okay, hello. Yeah, I
Okay,
wanted to ask a question. I don't know if I can be heard.
of course. Yeah.
There's this issue of okay, the group of 5, group of 3, and all of that, and there has been like speculations of scammers around. How are we sure of maybe okay when we get a group to pay for the Plab course, how would we be sure that we're paying into the right account and all of that? Like, what steps are being made to ensure people are not being scammed?
All right. So we usually do not encourage, and in fact, we state it clearly when we send payment information that people should pay individually to the academy, even if they are in a group. Do you understand? So it's not, let's say you put a 5 now, and let's say Oluchi, Adebayo, Priska, Rinze, and Onyeme are in one group, and then Onyeme is the group leader. We don't expect Oluchi, Adebayo, and the rest to pay to Onyeme. Then Onyeme pays to us. No, never do that.
Okay.
Because you don't know them. Yes. So, but all of you can collect your information, send to us. We'll send them payment information. We expect each of you to pay directly to us. Now put your evidence of payment together to Onyeme. Onyeme will now confirm that all your group has registered, but he will not smell the money.
Okay. Then, sorry, another question I have. Are there like limitations, like for a maximum number of people, maybe for an online class or something? Like, is there a maximum number, especially as you do once in a month?
Yeah. So there is, we have we usually don't tell you. Yeah, because that's why I hesitated a little bit. Yeah. So there is a cap. Yeah, there's a cap, but I usually judge when I would draw that line that we were not going to take any further. Yeah. So anybody that applies after that will tell them no. So, and I wouldn't announce a figure because I use the amount of staff we have for support to determine that at that time. Yeah. So I've had a batch that there were almost 70, and that's because we had a lot of hands at that time. So I knew none of them would be lost. Yeah. But if we do not have as much hands to support them, sometimes I cut it off at 30 less. Yeah. So yeah, you can apply at any time. We will tell you whether there's room for you. Okay.
Sorry, one last question.
Shoot, please.
Yeah. So how early is it like advisable for someone to book? Maybe someone looking up to like probably have the class in March, because like if you've planned to have the class then, and then how early would you advise someone to try to like get payments and everything ready, so we don't get to the point where it's maxed out and you can't really get a class for them?
All right. So while you're worried about being maxed out, don't worry too much about that.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I'll be worried about is the amount you pay. Let's say for an instance, when I say Oluchi, I know you're paying in Naira, Abi.
Yeah.
So, and you know that the exchange rate now it dwindles and all that and all that. Good. I had that, was it not last year? I think last year, June, I had this lady who she registered in February. By the time the other colleagues who were registering in May for June were registering, they paid, I think, 150% of what she paid. That's 50% more than what she paid because she registered in February. So it's all up to you, really. About maxed out, don't worry too much about that. There will almost always be room. Yeah, but in terms of if you can, now is always the best time. Book ahead. If you can.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Kelechi, quickly, is there a say no? We don't have a center in Abuja. It's just in Lagos. Lagos is the hub for now.
I have a question.
Shoot, please. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's with regards to the mock. So what I can see based on physical mocks, that means the £100 is per mock, right?
Yes.
£100 per mock.
If you want to book an extra mock, the course in itself comes with one physical and one online mock. You don't pay for that. So if you want to now pay for an extra mock, some people need more assessment and all that. Yeah. So those are the costs for that.
Okay. And then with results review, I can see if you initially booked for the full courses, is if it's free or you still have to pay the, if you can elaborate on the results review.
Yeah, so result review is for people who did not pass the exam. If it is somebody from Key Points Academy, we'll have a free session to sit down and discuss and find out why you didn't pass, because it is free because we don't expect you to fail. When you go
Okay,
through our preparatory, so it's free.
Yes,
If
yeah,
you fail,
okay.
then you are shocked. We want to know why. So, but if it is
Okay.
somebody from another academy, then you have to pay for the service.
Okay, I appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, yeah, let me see if this, well, if anybody else has a verbal question, you can always put on your mic and ask, but I'll just check if there's anyone on the chat room. Chidima, I think you have seen it now on your screen, the pricing is there. If someone is writing in mid-month of May, when would be the best time for academy? May, step back 2 months from May will be the best time. So that would be March. Okay, Nemeka, that will be March, yeah. Someone writing in June, yeah, just step back 2 months from the month you want to write. So anytime between, 2 months back, 3 months back, perfect. Yeah, so if it's June, step back 2 months, that will be April. April will be good. Is the fee for the travel agent part of the package, or does it have to be paid for separately? No, they have to put everything together, Ijiga. The fee is just one. They'll just tell you one fee. You don't pay something differently. Okay. All right. If there isn't much other question, maybe just give me a little space to check the YouTube, just to be sure there's no question from there. We don't want to lose anybody. All right. So if there is none, and then we'll now go up. Yeah, I'll just go on to. Page. All right, so I've just got a giveaway here for 20 persons. Okay, yeah. You polite giveaway, don't you?
Sorry. Good evening.
Yeah.
I asked a question in the comment section.
I'm sorry that I missed that. All right, let me see. Okay, yeah. Please, still in the IELTS. If let's say you write in July, your IELTS is expiring that same July, and you do your registration within 3 months of passing Plab 2, yes, it should be accepted. It should be accepted. It will be accepted, not should. It will be accepted. The 3 months is from when your Plab 2 results came out, not from when your IELTS expired. Why, do you understand?
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Okay, is there any other question I missed? Anybody? No. All right. So I'll just give, this for 2023. Something I didn't mention earlier is that we are redesigning our processes. We're tightening our teaching and support processes from January. And what that means is we have a great passing record at the moment, but we are not satisfied. Administrative wise, we're not satisfied. From January, we want to make it as near impossible as possible for all candidates who come to Key Points Academy not to fail Plab 2. We want to make it hard for them to fail Plab 2. So that means we'll be introducing some new things within the academy, how we do a couple of things. And the things we're introducing, I have not heard about it in any academy anywhere. Yeah, so you may want to put that somewhere in your head when you make your decisions. Now, for our January and February courses, I'll be giving out 10 slots for January and February courses, physical courses in Lagos. Okay, so it won't apply to Manchester. I'm sorry, Manchester is expensive for now, so I can't give away Manchester. So for Lagos centers, for January and February, I'll be giving 10 slots each. And those 10 slots each, instead of paying at the rate of £450 individual registration, I'll give them at the rate of £385, which is for group of 5. So for January and February. And then for the online courses, the first 2 online courses in 2023, which is the January to February online course. Let me see if I can put them up now. Yeah, the January to February online course and the first quarter 7-weekend online course. I'll also give 10 slots each at the same rate. So that means you pay the rate of a group of 5, £385 without having to form a group yourself. So, and it will be on first come, first served basis. So yeah, if you start tonight to drop a message, I will count up to 10. When I've given to the 10th person, it is maxed out. Now, this is the contact. This is the number you send a WhatsApp message to show your interest. Okay. So you just say, I'm interested in the January course or the February course, and I want the giveaway discount. Okay. Okay. So if you do that, yeah. Nengi, until then. Until then. So for now, it's January, February. Nemeka, yeah, I think what you say, kind of touched the part of my heart. Let me just extend to Manchester. So I'll do a different giveaway for Manchester. It will be different. So for Manchester, if you form a group of 5 for a single Manchester course, that's a single month, physical course in Manchester. Yeah, if you form a group of 5, you will pay the rate of a group of 7. Yeah. So you will not pay what you're supposed to pay at the group of 5. So if you form a group of 5, all for Manchester, then I'll give you a discount to pay at the rate of a group of 7. Nemeka, that's fair, isn't it? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you very much. If you consider much a prayer anyways.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. So before you guys leave, there's one unique concept for application to our course that I think only Key Points does at the moment, is that people who are attending different courses can group together to apply for our courses. So that means that someone who wants to apply for an online course can group together with someone who wants to apply for a physical course, and they can all form a group together to apply for a course. Yeah, so I'm attending in January, I'm attending in February, I'm attending online, I'm attending physical. It doesn't matter too much to us. The only place where we draw a line is Manchester does not mix with Lagos. Yeah, if it's Manchester, you're on a different continent or a different world. If you're in Lagos and other places, yeah, you're different. So Manchester is special. Yeah. So I think that's just it. Yeah. So it can help you when you mobilize. I want to wish you guys all the best, and I hope to celebrate with you. See you soon. Maybe have opportunity to know you better. You can see our websites there. Yeah, you can see also the places where you can send us an email. You can take a look at our website. You see all the information that you need, how to apply for a course, and if you are not sure, send a WhatsApp message to that number. You can save it now as Key Points Academy. Yeah, so you send the message, and then we'll be happy to support you. So thank you so much for making our time to spend this evening with me. Oganetega, I see your hand up. I'm so sorry if I missed it earlier.
No. I just raised my hand up now.
Right.
Thank you so much. It's been very insightful. Although I skipped some parts, so I'm hoping that maybe someone hasn't asked this question before. But I'm concerned if I register with this with Key Points now online. because of maybe family logistics and all that. But we want to do a mock. How does that work? Does the mock happen online?
No,
You know,
okay,
I'll
so-
prefer a physical mock. I don't know how that combination goes.
All right, so please, attending a physical course or an online course does not change anything about your mocks. It's just, the courses are only a means for you to attend classes. They don't define your mocks. Everybody is entitled to a physical mock and an online mock. And then if you want extra mocks, you can book as you want. So the course, when you register for a course, whether you register for a physical course or you register for an online course, you are entitled to one physical mock and one online mock. Both of them have their strengths and their weaknesses, and that's why we insist on one each for each person.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
so,
you very much.
So
Thank
you don't have any worries about that.
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
All right, no worries. Yeah. So my regards, everybody, and congratulations once more if you just received your results. Enjoy yourself, you deserve it.